All right, so we have a 2014 Toyota Camry SE. Is the V6 model. Plenty of get up and go in these. They're very nice. I am a fan of the Camrys. I had one myself, same year. Not the V6. Wish I got the V6. I just really love how these drive. They're quiet. They're easy to drive. They do well. They're efficient. They're reliable. This one has a couple quirks on it. But really nothing crazy. You can see here, bumpers, you have some cracks in it, some scrapes here, sorry about the hiccup. And then these bolts for your license plate, it's pretty common on Toyotas. They'll get rusted and seized and then they snap off when you try to take them off. Wheels and tires, aftermarket, they look really good. They did a little bit wider, so 235 instead of 225, and then a little bit shorter, so they did a 40 series instead of a 45. Now this has a bit of road noise when you're driving around. That could be a contributing factor. More meat is what I say, so a 45 would just add more sidewall. You could keep the 235 if it didn't cause issue with the struts in the front, but 225 you're going to have less rolling resistance for better fuel economy. This is going to be a more stable drive, so ups and downs, right? More scratches up here in the front. This bumper has been replaced. It's QR code inside that scans up for a different VIN. So it's been replaced. It's not in the best shape. They didn't do too well with the blending. Sticks out here, but these clips are all good. It's the bracket inside that is loose. And then some of the plastics, those clips are all not working or not secure. Sorry, all these kids came out halfway through my video here. Paint wise though, it's in pretty good shape. There has been some blend work up at the front. They did do a pretty good wax on it, so you'll have like a white residue that you get on your fingers on the edges. It's not paint. It wouldn't come off like that. So like this here is a good spot. So like it's wax in there, right? From when they do the wax, it gets stuck in those spots. As it dries, it kind of gets chalky. Sorry. Lights are all working pretty good. Got some pretty good yellowing going on with these aftermarket lights. Like I said, these lights and the bumper have been replaced. Grill, pretty good chips on there, but nothing crazy. Definitely some PDR, you know, get it touched up, get it fixed up, and be on your way. You just don't want that spot to rust out. All right, so we're gonna do a quick video with the engine bay. I'm just gonna set the camera right here for a moment, and I'm gonna get a startup clip, bear with it, and I'll be right back. All right, so I actually had a Camry at one point. Let this focus, there we go. And I loved my Camry. I wished I got the V6 all the time. These things are sleepers. Like, they are so quick, they're quiet, they're pretty efficient, but like the power for this car is so funny, because this is the same thing that's in the Tacomas and the vans and everything. So way more than the car ever needed, but I'm glad they did it because these things drive really good. This one, let's be quiet here. So this loudness is gonna most likely be water pump. It's pretty common on these for them to growl like that. I actually had to replace mine in a similar mileage on my 4-cylinder one, so I happen to know that sound. Transmission is a sealed unit, so it's like a plug down on the bottom, like a diff basically check. They don't have like a stick up here for you to look at. They did do the filter, that looks good. Batteries from 23, held charged really well. While I was doing my scans and stuff, stayed right around 12, which is good. Electric power steering, so you don't really have to worry about that. There are some things that I did notice. You can see these lights have been replaced. They're aftermarket. There has been some like paint work on the front here, the bumper. Down here, if you look closely, this QR code, it's how you scan like VINs on cars, and that actually pulls up a different VIN for the car. So that's how you know this has been replaced. All the functionality is still there, but you can see it's got quite a bit of scrapes and everything there. So I'll get more into that on the exterior portion, but I just kind of point things out as I'm there. And then your top hats, you see the amount of rust here. There's bearings inside there, and with that much rust, it could be cause of some of the binding that I was experiencing while I was driving the vehicle. And then my last thing I do want to kind of gripe about is this color of the brake fluid. It's kind of like a dark green. Now, I know some places will use like an off-color brake fluid. It's not common. Typically, it's a sign of moisture with time. Brake fluid is a commonly neglected fluid, but we use it literally consistently. I usually say every 3 years that fluid should be changed out just to stay on top of it. But it's a little low as well, so definitely something I would say would get serviced if this was going to be a keeper for you. We're going to stop here, and then I'm going to keep moving around the vehicle. Alright, we're going to go through our undercarriage. I did talk about this more on the exterior. There's some scratches underneath, just low front ends on these cars these days. I start here front to back. This shows me if anything's hanging down, anything loose. Usually if anything's shiny in there, it'll tell you if there's anything that's been leaking. So that's always a good way. Oh, focus there, camera. So that's always a good way for me to tell, like, if there's any wetness or anything looks shiny, bright back here. The leaks usually hit the wind and spread, so I always look for stuff like that. Now you can see here, this plastic is missing, broke off here. And then try to catch it, but there is a mountain here. Let it focus right here. There's a hole there from something that caught it. I don't know if that was part of what took the plastic out or not, but that hole is not supposed to be there. You will get moisture inside of there, and that's basically like one of your mounts for your motor. So something to keep an eye on, or get taken care of, or just seal it up. Plastic needs to be replaced. We're gonna go to each corner and just see the lift points. Over on the driver front corner, floor pan, everything looks really good. Pinch welds in good conditions, not bended over, smushed or split open or rusting. Looks good there. That's what we like to see. And then while I'm over here, like, we do have some good surface rust on these, like where the steel components are, right? Like stuff that are prone to surface rust. It's not uncommon in our area. I wouldn't be too worried about it. Now, if this was like giving me a weird wear pattern or anything like that, then I would be worried about like the slide pins having too much rust for them to work properly, or an uneven wear on the pad. I don't see any of that happening there. Same boat on the rear, looks pretty good. And then your mount here in good shape, or your lift point, sorry, is in really good shape still. You can see more of that steel stuff that has surface rust on it. Nothing's flaking or soft or like peeling, so just surface rust happens, not uncommon. Now with the V6, you do get the dual exhaust on this bad boy. You can see some of the coatings coming off. That happens with time. It's not necessarily a bad thing. You will start seeing more surface rust, and eventually, if the car sits a lot, the moisture that builds up inside of the exhaust can actually wear through it. So just make sure this doesn't sit a lot. And then this side, you can see your floor pan and the crash rails and everything, how they hinge together, all looks really good. And then passenger side, same boat, looks really good. Still on that passenger side in the rear, so you see those hard steel parts, surface rust. Body good, pinch wheel good. Still has the body plugs and everything. That's what we like to see. And then your last lift point pinch welds in good shape. This side has a little bit of like an undercoating that has stuck to it some. So that's interesting. And then in here, looking pretty good. always like to try and show in there the components and everything that we can see on the backside. Steering and everything all looks good. Alright, there's a lot on these interiors, so I just try to get through it kind of quickly. Steering wheel controls all work as intended. Paddle shifts, voice commands and everything, cruise control. There is some wear like in the leather and stuff. Cluster and everything worked really good. Didn't have any lights come on. Mileage at the time of our inspection, 189,686 after the drive. The map tracked us very well. This does have backup camera as well. And a little radar stuff. Doors are open, that's why the chime was going off. One thing, air conditioning, all that stuff works really good. All these buttons work, but this cover here is just like, it like popped out. I was playing with the AC and the hazards, and it's just kind of loose and bubbled out. Something to keep note of. Does have heated seats, they work really good. Sport shift, you can shift it here. That also works with the paddle shifters. Blind spot monitor, it did yell at me. I did turn it back on. It was off initially. And then a little storage here. Your e-brake works really well. And then I'm gonna go from the outside of the vehicle looking in on the rest of the car. All right, it does have a tilting and sliding all the way back sunroof. Black leather power seats on both sides. This one has the worst wear to it. It's all the way through, just sliding in and out. The bolsters are pretty good on these seats, so you do have to like slide past it, either getting in or out. Sometimes with like larger folks, they have an issue. Some like stress, like wrinkles, right? But they're not like cracking. You can see where some of it's starting to wear on the seam here. And then I did notice in here, one of those clips over there is missing. Carpet's in pretty good shape though. Door cards are also in really good shape. Very impressed. Back seat looks really good. Doesn't look like it was used too much. Very left alone. No weird wear or anything on there. Seatbelt's in good shape. And then the trunk release does work to get these folded forward. Another all-weather mat. Carpet looks good under there. Hop over to the other side. On the passenger side here now, door card as well in good shape. Seat here is good too. Same thing on this side essentially. You will note like all these little dings, they're usually from seatbelts getting slammed in the door. Kind of sucks, leaves some pretty bad dings that are honestly better off to just have a sore eyesore. They'd try to fix that because it's kind of structural and they could claim that against the vehicle. This power seat clip trim for the switches essentially is broken, so it's kind of hanging off. The switches still work, and then more of that bolster wear here, but not as bad as the driver's side. Glove box works as well, has all the info in there still. Door card in good shape. Couple tidbits. Console here has a tear in it, and then you got some fraying on your head, on the headliner part here. Probably use some like 3M adhesive glue to like secure that before it frays more from sliding in and out. We'll stop there. All right, so we're on to the trunk portion of this. So carpet and everything looks pretty good back here. Looks like they gave it like a nice little clean. This little latch is supposed to have like a top part to it, just so you know. Tools and everything are here for your spare tire kit. There is a bit of like rust in there, so there was moisture just chilling these foam pockets, at least for some kind of time. You can kind of see more stuff over there. It's just like buildup. I don't see any rusting into the body or anything. And like the tools, you can honestly wipe them off. They're usually plated or coated, sorry. You do have some debris down in there. It does have a full size spare. It's not full width, but full height. Still don't recommend putting those on the fronts. Overall, trunk functions as it's intended to. I did notice here we have a little tear in the rubber seal here. Opens and closes fine. There is some tape here, so there might have been a repair in there. There was an active code for a module being an open circuit. Now I couldn't tell if that was from me having the trunk open or not. So just something to keep in mind there. All right, so here we go through and scan the computer. We did have some codes that popped up. A couple of them are current. One is about it says EV/engine system malfunction, right? We had no lights on during the drive, or any kind of drivability issue in that sense. And it says current, so I'm not sure what that's about. I did list all these out, like what the numbers were, current history and everything. Blind spot just says lost communication. Smart key had a lost communication. Gateway had lost communication with the steering and the gateway module. Basically what that is like doors and stuff. And then on your smart key, one of the active ones says the trunk, like a trunk module circuit is open. Now I have the trunk open currently when I scan the car, so I'm not sure if that's what tripped that or not. Since it says current, it's been tripped. It would take me like another 3 successful drive cycles to get that to clear naturally. But really, I don't think that's anything to worry about. I was able to use the electric button, I was able to use the switch in here, and I was able to use the button on the key. So I'm gonna assume it's from having the trunk open while I scanned it, which I guess it doesn't like. From here, I would like to show you just everything else. Had passes, all the really important stuff. We're gonna go and scan all the monitors real quick. All right, this portion I always like to highlight here is your VIN down in the bottom left corner. It's always important to make sure this matches with the vehicle. We do have green checks throughout this. That's good. That's what we like to see. That's kind of why we try to do those extended drives, 10 miles plus. It gives everything a good chance to reset and really cycle through and see if all those measurements are, within spec. The gray circles typically is just a module that's probably supported by something else, so redundancies. Looks good here. We'll keep moving forward. All right, we're gonna go through our quick conclusion on this car. Drives really good, plenty of get up and go, cruises nicely. There is a little bit of noise on bumps in the back seat. I didn't really find anything. It's kind of like just a squeaking sound, but I didn't see anything loose. I opened and closed that seat. Car has a little bit of a pull to the left. And I showed it more, but you can see like on the edge where it's like catching. So definitely could use an alignment. See how much tread is on that side, sorry. And then you see on this side, it's a lot more rounded off. So just get ahead of that. Rotate the tires when you get that done. Those are like pretty much brand new, real fresh wear on the back. I did note the tire size is like skinnier sidewall and wider footprint. That could contribute to the amount of road noise you're hearing. Front bumper on this has been replaced along with the lights, yellowing from the oxidation. Aftermarket lights sometimes don't do so well. We do have quite a bit of scuffs on the bumpers, some dings and dents around the vehicle, but paint's in pretty good shape. They did some blending on the front to match the bumper. Glass is all good. Some more of this stuff. I just want to tell you, like it's from the wax. See how I just rubbed that off? When you get like a wax shop going super fast and they're not paying attention, they'll kind of like burn these sometimes. We do have these bolts broken back here. It's pretty common on Toyotas. I'm just going to express some like concerns that I had. About 45 under light throttle, this does have a little bit of a shudder. Not necessarily a shudder, kind of like a surging, like a very light surging. These did have an extended warranties for the torque converter causing something like that. Just something to check into. Definitely get the fluid looked at. Should have been done about 3 times in its life by now. And then my last thing is the noise while running. Now I had one of these, I said it in the earlier part of the video, mine was a 4-cylinder, but I know what that water pump sounds like when it starts going out, and that is that sound. It's kind of like a, it's not grinding, but you can just hear it rotating because the bearing is starting to go out. And if that goes out, you're gonna have all kinds of issues over there. So definitely get that taken care of with the mileage in the year. Get the cooling system flush at the same time, just make sure it's all good. And the brake fluid brake fluid is really dark green. Typically when I see that, it's a lot of moisture built up. I don't see a lot of shops that use a green fluid unless it's like a specialty fluid for European cars sometimes. I don't see that being used in this. It's a bit low as well. And if it was topped up with that green, that's definitely more reason to get it flushed. But overall, not too bad. Just a few things that need to be addressed before this gets thrown out into daily life. We're gonna stop here and bring it back.